Hey everybody, so in this video I wanted to give my first general and overall impressions on Amazon Lex. And if you're not familiar with Amazon Lex is a AI chatbot creator tool, and the differentiator with this tool is that you don't have to have or need or require coding capabilities in order to build out these AI chatbots, and then without being able to code, you can fully customize them out. And a caveat that I would make really upfront when it comes to building out AI chatbots is that while it is difficult to code them out, the coding isn't a majority of the work in building out a chatbot. And I can go into that more in depth when we look into and dive further into the platform, but just know that if you essentially this platform, Amazon Lex, my first impressions of it overall, just really upfront, are that if you have a simple use case, if you can spin up a template from this platform and maybe just do some minor tweaks to it, this is an amazing platform, an amazing tool for you. It absolutely does eliminate the coding. If you want something more complex, if you're looking to actually build out a chatbot like that, and you want it to be trained on your own data and to go through all of that, again, while this does eliminate the coding portion of that for you, that eliminates maybe 5 to 10% of the overall work that you'll be looking to do if you go that route. And so just I want to preface that up front. And so with this video, this really is my first impressions of Amazon Lex. I've had about an hour or so on the platform before making this video, but I did want to make it like, my real general first impressions and kind of what I go through when I'm going through a first impression on a platform like this. So very first thing that I do is I look at the documentation. and so that's where I start. And then so with this documentation, I go immediately here to how it works, read through the how it works section, and then I build out and play around with it once I read through the how it works. So on this documentation, it's pretty straightforward. Essentially, they provide 4 steps really and then the 4th step is deploying your bot. It's creating your bot, testing it, publishing it, and then deploying. So really straightforward as to what they say the steps are, and they are really straightforward in that context. And then they also give some terminology that we need to know as we go into this platform. So the first thing that we need to know is exactly what a bot is. And then so a bot in this instance is powered by Amazon Lex v2. And then Amazon Lex v2 bots can understand user inputs via text or speech. And then they're conversational natural language models, meaning that they can talk and provide text conversationally. Big thing, and like this is probably like one of the biggest reasons why you would want to go with this platform if you have a use case for this is like Amazon Lex v2 bots, like they're fluent in multiple languages, and they can speak multiple languages at once and multiple languages within an individual conversation if needed, etc. So that's kind of a big selling point overall of the Lex v2 bots. And then so diving into how the bots work very specifically, these bots work very specifically based off of intent. And then so intent just represents an action that you want the user to take. For example, if you want somebody to order a pizza, that would be an intent. The intent would be order pizza. And then you have, so within the intent, you have a few like things that you need it to have. First of all, it has to have a name. And then you have to have essentially utterances, which are like how someone would typically order a pizza. Like, can I order a pizza? I want to order a pizza. How do I order a pizza? Anything that would be, related to them wanting to order a pizza and that you think that like would be close enough for the AI to grasp onto. And then essentially how to fulfill the intent. And then so that just means what do you want the bot to do after that? And then there's a lot of documentation that is provided on the fulfillment because essentially they recommend utilizing various services and add-ons, and it gets a lot more complicated building out intents and our fulfillments of intents. Then the next concept to go over is slots and slot types. And then so essentially all a slot is just like the information that you would give like for the intent. Like for example, if it's order pizza, then you're giving it like individual instructions like what's the type of pizza, what's the crust of the pizza, etc. Like it's like more like descriptive of the intent. And then slot types would be like crusts. So if you had like slot for stuffed crust, like pan thin crust, etc. Those would be grouped into a slot type of crust, of pizza crust, for example. And then the last two concepts are version and alias. I'll start with alias first. So alias is like what you would think of as to like the version of the bot, right? Like, so it's like if you update your bot, if you start your bot, it's on V1, and then if you update it, it's on V2. Whereas the difference between an alien and a version, or alias and a version, is that alias is again referring to the bot specifically in that context, whereas the version is referring to the work that we do within the bot. And we'll see this once we dive straight into the platform, which we're going to do pretty much right this second. But the last thing I want to highlight with this documentation before moving on is that this is a large amount of documentation, almost 400 pages if you read all the way through it. I'm likely not going to read all the way through this documentation, but I am going to spend a lot of time reading through this documentation because to me it's important to learn from reading. So first of all, understanding how it works, and then once I get that general grasp and understanding, then I feel I can dive into the platform, and that's exactly what I did here. So diving into the platform itself, this is kind of the main screen that you would start with, Amazon Lex. And what I want to, like, all of your basic navigation will be here on the left-hand side. And then, so again, referring to the documentation, we start off with bots, as we saw in the documentation. And then everything that we would want to build out from there would be within the bots. And then, so you can see here that I've got 2 bots already built out, or you can create bots or import your own bot if you already have a bot. If you're creating a bot, if you want to create a bot, you have the option to create a bot from scratch, start from an example, or start from templates. If you create a bot from scratch, if you go this route, again, this is the route where essentially Amazon Lex, what Amazon Lex as a platform does for you is saves you about 5% of the actual overall work. If you didn't know how to code in Python in order to do this, that's all that this saves you. But again, when you're building out these bots, and I'll try to make this concept as crystal clear as I can, the coding isn't the hardest part. And then so starting with an example or starting with transcripts are definitely the way to go, especially starting with an example because it's all built out for you. But then so going back to these bots that I have built out here, this one is just flat out not starting from an example, and then this one is using one of their templates that they had built out, and then I picked in this instance the retail order management template. And then so if we click into the template, into the bot itself, then we can start to see kind of what we were how we were seeing this more described in the documentation. So we've got like our bot versions, which we saw in the documentation, aliases that we saw in the documentation, and then if we go over here, we get kind of just the overall and general description of the bot and how it works. I want to essentially from here, let's go ahead and edit the bot, and then what I'm running into here is issues that I'm not seeing as what I want. Oh, here we go. So intents. So on the left hand side, again, we have the so it's languages, and then in this instance I'm going with English, but then you have essentially your intents and then your slot types. And then since this is built out, this particular bot is built out, you can see that all of the intents and the slot types are already built out for this particular bot. So when we interact and we play with this bot, remember that I'm going off of a template, and the template is fully built out. And then so it's built out with the intents, it's built out with all the slot types. With the individual intents, it's built out with multiple individual utterances. Again, going back to that documentation that people could say. So like for the delivery intent, it would be I would like to reschedule delivery, how do I reschedule delivery date rescheduling, can I modify? Like there's again, you have to keep in mind that this template has so much built out that, again, if you're starting from scratch, you have none of this. Absolutely none of this would exist. And I think that's a very important concept to keep in mind. Again, your conversation flow would be completely blank. So how this is all built out, again, because of the template that I'm using. So this looks very beautiful, templatized, and very simple and straightforward templatized. But if you want to not play around with this as templatized, then again, it's a lot more complex to do and a lot more simplistic. So here's again our one that we have, and so you can see here we have this isn't built out, so you can see that because it's not built out, this is not like the conversational flow. I started playing around with this just to build it out, and you can see that it's only 2 pages of the conversation flow, and it really just, I don't understand, and that's kind of really like all I've got built out so far, and then just a few other things, but it's mostly like something went wrong, sorry I can't understand, because I'm just building out essentially at this point the error messages. So again, like we can see that this is a lot more simplistic than the other ones, than the other one that we were looking at. Initial responses, same thing. I don't have a lot of this built out in my bot. And then so what this translates to is really straightforward here. I'll show you. If I type in how do I place an order? It's going to give me, and I mean, really what I want to show is that it's going to give this same messages every single time, no matter what I type in. Can you type anything different? Oh, see? So, again, like this, I want to show this because this is like what essentially you would get with not going with the template and like 5 minutes of building out a bot. Now let's go back to that template bot. So let's go to this retail order management bot, and then we'll go back to this intents, and then let's test this one. And let's say, can I place an order? Order status, sure. What's the 13-digit order number? So it's pulling like all of this from all of these intents again, and then so again we have a track package intent, and then so I'm straight up just guessing based off of this track package intent that I can put something along the lines of what is my tracking number? What is my order tracking number? Let's see what it says. And then so it does have a response to that. It asked me for it asked me to find the order number. And then how about, let's see, can you track my package? Again, so it's asking for the order number there. So what we can do is we can drill down into these intents, And then we can see. So we can see like how can I return my item? Let's. Cool. And then so I think this is to highlight like so it's at this point it's like stuck in this conversation like on that order and like so this is a thing to highlight that as you're building out AI bots and bots things like that, like it's even with a fully templatized out bot and then trying to show you based off of like what it actually is, like what Amazon is showcasing as the best properties and principles with this, we just saw it get stuck. And so like AI will do that and it will happen. So it's important to recognize those things. I had to refresh this like essentially like refresh the test in order for it to not be stuck. And then now you can see that it's actually giving responses again. So can I return more than one order in the same parcel? It says, okay, I can help with that. Please say or enter the 13-digit number. So and it might get stuck again at this too. Like so I think we can get it stuck again. Yep. See? So it's going to, like with this, how it's set up in this decision tree, if we don't give it the order number, it's like, and I think it wanted 13 digits. So, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's not going to take it no matter what I put in there. And then so that's, again, it's interesting things. The thing to highlight with this is, and with these tools, is that they are amazing and they this conversational flow is like very amazing until it gets stuck on something and or until it's not amazing. And that does happen. And that's a consideration and a major consideration to I think to keep in mind when if you decide and you want to build out an AI chatbot, if you want to go through this, it's a lot of work. All of this is a lot of work. It's building out all these intents, building out more of the intents that you see here and then you see here, so that it doesn't get stuck. The other thing that I haven't highlighted to you as well, and I think it's kind of the last thing to probably highlight within this video, is that if you want to build out one of these models, and then whether or not you're going with the example model or building out on your own, is that all of these AIs and AI in general operates and feeds off of data. And then so in this particular instance, we were given a sample data set. And then this sample data set is essentially what this particular AI that we're working with has been trained on. So this particular AI has been fed information, information about customers, and information about their orders and the products, and then also information about essentially phrases that customers would utilize in different situations, like wrong address, don't want it, bad reviews, and then so all of this sample data is fed into this particular bot that we're working with first. And then so when we build out this bot and then we build, one of the things that that goes into building before we test is building out the sample data set. Again, just to highlight, and overall, this is my first impressions playing around. This is my first hour with Amazon Lex. I think this is a great tool for businesses. This is all free for me to set up, to play around with. I like the tool overall. Diving just a little bit deeper into the tool and playing around with these things, I like the simplicity of playing around with the bots, with playing around with intents. It's pretty straightforward to me as to how this works and how the editor works, how to play with intents. The documentation was really straightforward there. And then one last thing I do like as well, that it does have a visual builder as well. So if you have more of, let's say, like a marketing background and you're used to like a canvas-based flow, this is the tool for you, like all day long. Like if you want to work in canvases and you prefer working in canvases, then get Amazon Lex, and it will be the best decision that you've ever made as far as building out AI chatbots. I think my expectation is that for the most part, it will be more developers that will want this. So, like from the developer standpoint, I think that Lex is not as developer friendly. It's designed that way on purpose. It's really simple and straightforward WYSIWYG interface. Again, it does eliminate the coding work, but if you are a marketer, like this platform is really amazing for you, and you'll really like this visual builder interface. And then I might make a few more videos as I dive deeper into the platform that dives deeper into this visual builder, because I think the visual builder here and what we're looking at is the main reason why you would want to use Amazon Lex overall. And then so overall, hope this video was helpful. As a general first impression of Amazon Lex, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5. I think I can see the benefit of this platform, of this tool. It integrates really easily with other AWS products, which so you can utilize this as a full suite of AI products from Amazon that's going really hard in this area now. And it's especially useful if you don't have coding experience, but keep in mind that if you want a very complex bot that strays very far away from templates, that coding isn't the hardest part at all, ever, with building out an AI chatbot. Thank you.